tooth growth studies, I didn't find anything in regards to like regrowth of teeth or many studies that were actually that helpful about teeth, and I looked at multiple. I got to a study published in the Journal of Dental Research investigated the effects of fluoride on tooth development in children aged 6 and 14. The study involved 374 children. The results showed that the mean number of erupted teeth was significantly higher in the group of children who received fluoride supplements than in the group who did not receive supplements. 11.6 teeth versus 10.8 teeth. The mean enamel thickness of erupted teeth was significantly greater in the fluoride group than in the non-fluoride group. 2.15 units versus 2.01 units. Molecular control of bud root development. This study aimed to investigate the molecular mechanisms that regulate tooth root development in mice. The researcher used various techniques such as gene expression analysis, histology, and immunostaining to examine the role of specific genes and signaling pathways in tooth root development. Um, some key findings from this study is like the expression of certain genes such as MSX2 and RUNX2, uh, which is necessary for proper tooth root development. And the WNT signaling pathways play a crucial role in regulating tooth root formations. A lack of WNT signaling results in abnormal root formation and shortened roots. And yeah, okay. How does the feeding cycle correlate to the circadian cycle? The feeding cycle and the circadian cycle are interconnected and work together to regulate metabolism and maintain overall health. The circadian clock, which operates on a 24-hour cycle, regulates a wide range of psychological processes, including metabolism, hormone production, and gene expression. In response to the natural high-dark cycle, the circadian clock regulates the release of hormones such as cortisol, melatonin, and insulin, which help to prepare the body for waking up and sleeping, as well as for periods of feeding and fasting in general. Our bodies are primed to eat during daytime hours when our metabolism is more active, and to fast during nighttime hours when our metabolism slows down. Wait, have you noticed that I'm like reading without stuttering as much right now? Or am am I tweaking?
Seems normal.
Wait,
Um,
normal?
I think so.
Okay,
I'm not noticing anything.
okay. When we eat, our bodies release insulin to help regulate blood sugar levels and prepare our cells to take in nutrients. Insulin release is also regulated by a circadian clock, and is most efficient during the daytime hours. Therefore, eating during the daytime is more efficient to regulate blood sugar and metabolic function. Disruptions to the natural feeding fasting cycle,
Wait,
such.
wait, 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 wait. Why is it most beneficial to eat during the daytime?
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it. What was the last thing you heard me say?
So my question is why is it beneficial to eat during the daytime? Because that was the end of the sentence.
Um, okay, so basically, like the main reason, right, is because the metabolism is active, right, during daytime hours, and in the nighttime it slows down. That's
Well,
why.
the only reason that happens is because that's when people usually eat and usually don't eat, and then their body gets used. Like basically, there is a clock. There is like the same way with sleep. You know, if you always sleep during, for example, the day, then during the night you'll have low levels of melatonin and high levels of cortisol, and you'll be awake. And the same thing with food. If you're eating only during the night and then you don't eat during the day, then your metabolism will be active, actually most active during the nighttime.
Yeah,
And it will be the least
but
active because it will be used to that.
yeah, but
Huh?
like listen to this part. When we eat, our bodies release insulin to help regulate blood sugar levels, prepare our cells to take in nutrients. Insulin release is also regulated by a circadian clock and is most efficient during the daytime hours. Therefore,
So let's see. I'm trying to remember.
during eating during the daytime is more efficient for regulating blood sugar and metabolic function. So yeah, like yeah.
When I think basically it's something like when you think I don't know, like who the fuck said that? Like that insulin is regulated by circadian by the daylight cycle. Like you read the sentence, but who authored it?
How to like log into it, like in terms of like, yeah, I did not look up who wrote it. I just look into the studies. I looked at multiple.
Yeah, if you want to dig into that and see like who said, like why would they say that? As in, like, did they just randomly say it because it's good to brush your teeth or some shit, or was it like something like evidence based?
Yeah, for sure.
Because normally based on what I know, stuff like insulin and metabolic rate is completely affected by the normal time you actually eat. So if you eat at the same time every day, that's when your insulin and ghrelin, and that's when you'll get hungry, and like that time every day is when your body will actually be ready to eat, and you will get hungry. And so if you eat, for example, during the night, like normally, and then it will be really bad for you to eat during the day because your body will just be not ready to eat. For example, or like it's based on what I know, all the stuff related to food is the same thing as sleep. It just gets ingrained. But yeah, if you want to check into that,
Yeah, for sure.
what
I'll write it down.
who said that insulin is controlled by daylight cycle,
Well, not control, but
and
like it's correlated to it, like it's regulated. Like for example, I think that what it implies is that basically, uh, you know, it's somehow correlated to the circadian clock. Like when it gets released more and whatnot.
well, I mean, because food intake is correlated with circadian clock. People usually eat during the day. So if people correlate, when people eat correlates with daytime, then that insulin would also correlate with that. If insulin is basically just gets released whenever body is used to be eating.
I mean,
um,
I think that answers the question, but yeah, I'm gonna look into it with who said that. But like, you just literally answered the reason of why insulin release is correlated to the circadian clock, I believe.
no, I didn't say. I said that they're all correlated, but the question is what causes what. Like I don't know. Like I just all three of them are correlated, but which one causes the other one? I'm just saying that
Okay.
just because they're correlated doesn't mean that one for sure causes the other one. They're just correlated.
Do you want me to add that as a question too, besides who said that?
Um, just no, I just want to know who said that, and if they said it based on evidence in the paper, or if they just randomly said it with no fucking support.
Okay, yeah, I'll look into it, and if I have an answer, I will tell you.
Okay.
Disruptions to the natural feeding fasting cycle, such as eating late at night or regular meal timing can have negative effects on overall metabolic health. For example, eating late at night can disrupt the circadian regulation of metabolism, leading to impaired glucose tolerance and insulin resistance.
I mean, like those statements don't really mean anything unless you wanna say the experiment and then like the
Didn't we
result
look
of the
at the
experiment.
at those experiments before? And you remember that,
Yeah, it was basically eating at night is healthier. That was the fucking result of that experiment because people who ate late at night basically had lower glucose level average compared to people who ate early in the day by 5 hours, shift.
Hmm. Do you
See,
really
like
have to
that's
sleep?
people say, uh,
Uh,
what?
are you sure that was the result? Wasn't it like the opposite?
No, no. So people who ate 5 hours later in the day had lower average glucose level. Um, and I mean, if you shift your dinner by 5 hours forward, it's basically going to be much closer to the time you fall asleep because that's 5 hours later dinner time.
Hmm. I'm gonna look into that
Yeah.
also
So
tomorrow.
so so I'm, so it's interesting to hear an experiment and the results, but like people say all kinds of stuff like left and right, and it's like completely meaningless.
Okay. Do you really have to sleep during nighttime? Humans have an wait. Let me adjust myself. Humans have an innate biological need to sleep during the nighttime. When the environment is dark and excuse me, when the environment is dark, you need to be awake during daytime when the environment is light. This is because our internal biological clock, located in the suprachiasmatic nucleus of the brain, synchronized with the daylight dark cycle. During the nighttime, the brain produces the hormone melatonin, which signals the body to prepare for sleep. Melatonin levels are the highest at night and lowest during the daytime. Studies have shown that disrupting the natural light dark circle, such as working night shifts or using electronic devices at night, can interfere with the production of melatonin and disrupt sleep. And you know what I found on health benefits of sleeping at nighttime? Improved cognitive function, including better memory, attention, and problem solving skills, better mood and emotional regulation, lower risk of depression and anxiety,
so
lower
so I,
risk.
I want
Hmm.
I want to hear like was there like an exact experiment that showed that?
Uh, no, I didn't look for like studies. I just looked up for like a
Or
concrete.
was it just somebody who sleeps at night said it because they sleep at night and they were like, obviously this is healthy because I'm doing it.
I just look at up on like sort of like conclusions rather than on studies. But if you wanted to look into studies, I can look into the studies.
Yeah, like definitely that sleeping at night versus day is also like meaningless without an experiment
Okay.
because like I've seen some contradictory experiments, like experiments with some contradictory results on that subject. So it's people say bullshit left and right, but experiments actually don't fall on the same page with what people say.
Okay. But I'm gonna. Okay. So. Uh, what I was gonna say. What's the last thing I said in regards to what I was reading?
Maybe about insulin. I don't know. I can't remember for sure.
Oh yeah, no, no,
I think it was insulin.
no, no, no. But we were just talking about that because you brought up the other study. Um, okay,
No,
so
you mentioned insulin in
oh
your
no, no,
in
no. I
your
mentioned like lower risk of type 2 diabetes and like apparently having a normal sleep schedule or whatnot. Improve.
Well, do Control F insulin and see if you have insulin in your reading.
No, no, no. I'm looking at what I was reading. I was not reading anything in regards to insulin. We brought that up because you brought up the study uh, that.
Just just do Control F and type in insulin. See if there was insulin word anywhere
No,
there.
no. It was from like previous times that like days that we read about it, or
Okay.
like well, there was one, but we were like, okay, okay, okay. We were talking. We already spoke about it. Not like about it about what we were talking about in the last 10 minutes. It's like when I was talking about how apparently having a mess up. What is it called? Or a circadian misalignment can cause glucose tolerance and insulin resistance. But we already touched that subject.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you said insulin in your reading, and then I was like, wait, who said that, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then we moved on to like the benefits of sleeping during the
Okay.
nighttime. And
Okay. Okay.
apparently
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
improved
Sounds right.
immune function, which may lower the risk of infections and early illnesses. Better physical performance and athletic ability, lower risk of accidents and injuries. Cons of not sleeping at nighttime, increased risk of accidents and injuries. Impaired cognitive function, including memory, attention, and decision-making abilities. Higher risk of depression and anxiety. Inri- Increased risk of obesity and type 2 diabetes. Weakened immune system function. Increased inflammation.
Let's skip all that.
Okay.
Let's only like if there's an experiment. Let's just talk about things if there's
Okay.
an experiment and like the
Okay.
results
You
were
you asked
because
me, yeah, but you asked me what's a circadian misalignment cycle exposure. I mean, you asked me about
no, no,
the circadian misalignment cycle exposure in one of the studies.
no.
Yeah, yeah,
That there was a nope, nope. There was a very specific question.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was
It was in regards to
uh,
the study.
yeah, but specifically like what did you write? Like as far as the question. It was
Like
in regards to like which cycles are getting misaligned to in relationship to which like again there's feeding cycle and there's a sleep wake cycle and there's a
no, no,
daylight
no.
cycle.
But you made me a question on regards to like the circadian misalignment cycle exposure. Like how were they like exposed to the cycle misalignment circadian misalignment cycle in one
Yeah.
of the studies? And
So maybe I was looking for methods of that study.
yeah, no, you were asked. I can pull up the video if you wanted to and try to like pinpoint it. But you said like uh, basically for how long they were exposed or something like that. Yeah, something in
Yeah,
regards to
yeah.
that.
So it was very specific to the study, right?
Yeah, and
Not
I
not
got the
not like in
answer.
general.
No, it was not in general. The duration of exposure
Oh,
in the study, circadian misalignment increases cardiovascular risk disease in humans. That was the name of the study. Was 10 days. Participants in the study were exposed to a 28-hour day, which disrupted their normal circadian rhythms, leading to circadian misalignment for 10 consecutive days. This study aimed to
no shit.
investigate the impact of circadian misalignment on cardiovascular disease risk. So, factors such as blood pressure, glucose tolerance, and lipid metabolism. The participants were exposed to a 28-hour day, which means that the environmental cues for the circadian rhythms were shifted by 4 hours each day, effectively extending their day by 4 hours. This was achieved
What?
by, yeah,
How did they do the like a 24-hour day? Like was it just like LED lights or?
yeah, I'm about to. This was achieved by keeping the participants in controlled environmental with external cues such as natural light, clocks, or social interactions that might indicate the actual time of the day. Instead, the researchers use artificial lighting to simulate a 28-hour day and effectively shifting the
Wow.
participants' internal clocks by 4 hours each day. During the 24 hours of light, the participants were allowed to engage in normal daily activities such as eating, working, exercising, and they were allowed to sleep during 4 hours of darkness. The timing of their sleep and wake periods was adjusted by 4 hours each day to maintain the 28 hours schedule.
What? Uh, so they slept during 4 hours of night. Like when they slept, it was still light or it was dark.
I guess it will like give them, some room to sleep for like 4 hours in the
But
dark.
was it dark or so it was dark?
Yeah, yeah. They were allowed to sleep 4 hours for
Wait,
4 hours
they
of
only got.
darkness. So like, what I'm imagining, right? Since they have like 28 hours, 24 hours they were awake and 4 hours it was like darkness.
What? Um. So you could they go to?
Yeah, they slept 4 hours per day.
I don't know. Can you read the methods like that like description of what they did again,
Okay.
please?
The participants were exposed to a 28-hour day, which means environmental cues for their circadian rhythms were shifted by 4 hours each day, effectively extending their day by 4 hours. This was achieved by
Wait. They were exposed to 28-hour day.
yeah, like yeah, but what it means is that uh, they made their days feel like if it was 28 hours. Like,
Oh, like 24 hours of daylight and four
yeah, and
hours
then,
of
yeah, basically,
darkness.
yes.
Okay, yeah. If you can keep reading from that point.
This was achieved by keeping the participants in in controlled environments with no external cues such as natural light, clocks, or social interactions that might indicate the actual time of the day. Instead, they use like artificial light to make it seem like they were in a controlled environment. Um, this was achieved by keeping the participants in a controlled environmental with no external cues. Wait, no. During the 24 hours of light, participants were allowed to engage in normal daily activities such as eating, working, exercising, and they were also allowed to sleep during 4 hours of darkness. The timing of their sleep and wake periods was adjusted by 4 hours each day to maintain the 28-hour day schedule. What's a 24-hour shift worker? A 24-hour shift worker is an individual who works for a continuous period of 24 hours or more, typically in the industries where continuous operation is required, such as healthcare, emergency services, or
Um,
transportation.
so for the next time, like let's like dig into that study again and like go over the results and all that. Now that we know the experimental setup, because like that's pretty wild. I definitely would like to know what was their results.
Okay.
I don't remember them from the last time.
Okay. Okay, so what's a 24-hour shift worker? A 24-hour shift worker is an individual who works for a continuous period of 24 hours or more, typically in industries where continuous operation is required, such as healthcare, emergency services, or transportation. The worker's schedule of a 24-hour shift worker typically involves rotating shifts, where they work for a specified period of time, usually 24 hours, followed by a period of rest before starting their next shift. For example, a 24-hour shift worker healthcare might, work three 24-hour shifts in a row, followed by a period of rest. Um, Working long and irregular hours can disrupt the circadian rhythms and sleep patterns of 24-hour shift workers, which can increase the risk of developing health problems such as sleep disorders, gastrointestinal disorders, and cardiovascular disease. such as, you know, I mean, hold on. As a result, managing the health and well-being of a 24-hour shift workers is an important consideration for employers in the industry that require continuous operation. Uh, what's PER2 mRNA rhythm? Uh, you know, it's a gene that is part of the molecular clock mechanism that regulates circadian rhythms in mammals, including humans. The expression of um, PER2 is like regulated by a series of feedback loops that involve multiple genes and proteins, leading to rhythm expression of PER2 mRNA and protein over a 24-hour period. Over a 20 and protein over a 24-hour period. The expression of PER2 mRNA shows a circadian rhythm with its levels peaking at night and declining during the day. This rhythm is driven by the activity of transcription, translation, feedback loop, where PER2 mRNA is transcribed from the PER2 gene in response to the activity of clock genes when translated into a PER2 protein. The rhythmic expression of PER2 mRNA is critical for proper functioning of the circadian clock, as it helps to regulate timing of key physiological processes such as sleep and wake up cycles, metabolism, and gene expression. Um, you asked me, did they eat on the same schedule during the 37 hours of testing? And did it change or it
What was
didn't
the name
change?
of that? What was the question for that one before? Yeah, what was the name of it? P what?
PER2 mRNA rhythm.
PER2M mRNA.
Yeah.
PER2M per
Yeah,
2M.
it's basically expression.
Um,
The PER2, I believe, it seems to be like expression.
just for the next time, like get more information on it because what you said didn't wasn't clear enough.
Okay.
So try to like put it in other words and maybe like just different more information on it.
Okay. Did they eat on the same schedule during the 37 hours of testing? Did it change or it didn't change? The meal timing changed during 37 hours of testing. The participants were given three meals: breakfast, lunch, dinner at that 5 hours interval, beginning either 0.5, which was early, or like 5.5 late hours after waking up. Participants were adapted to early meals and then switched to late meals for 6 days. After each meal schedule, participants' circadian rhythm were measured in a 37 constant routine that removes sleep and environmental rhythms while replacing meals with early isocaloric snacks. Therefore, during the 37 hours testing periods, the participant meal was changed from early to late.
Say that again. That whole thing. Like,
The entire thing?
yeah, the answer to that question of like
During the
about the meal
37
timing.
hour testing period, the participants' meal timing was changed from early to late. How did they assess sleep? Sleep was assessed.
No, I'm saying the whole thing, like from
The
the
meal
beginning.
timing changed during 37 hours of testing. The participants were given three
No.
meals:
Okay.
breakfast, lunch, dinner at the 5 hours intervals, beginning earlier, 0.5 early, or 5.5 late hours after waking. Uh, Participants were acclimated, acclimated to early meals and then switched to late meals for 6 days. After each meal schedule, participants' circadian rhythm were measured in a 37 constant routine that removes sleep and environmental rhythms while replacing meals with hourly isocaloric snacks. Therefore, during the 37-hour testing period, the participant meal timing was changed from early to late.
So so they ate at the same time, right? They all ate at the same time. Like when they ate, say early meals, it was exact same time. Oh, was it like same time in a day clock, or was it same time after they? Excuse me, after they woke up, like what is it? What
I don't think
it
it is
was the same time.
specified, but I can double check. When I was
Um,
reading it, I don't think it was specific.
yeah, if you can check, because I mean, like, is it the same time in daytime, like clock time, or is it same time after they woke up?
Okay. Yeah, I can check. I don't know if the question is gonna be there since it's super specific. But yeah,
I
I
mean,
can check.
it has to be like it's like if somebody wakes up at 7 a.m. somebody wakes up at 1 p.m., right? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'll look into that, and if I find the answer, I'll put it there. If not, I'll tell you or send you a study so you can double check in case you don't believe me.
no, I mean, I believe you. Just like we're not really getting like much out of the information unless we hash out the details like
Oh,
that.
okay. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Uh, how did he assess sleep? Sleep was assessed using actigraphy. Actigraphy is a non-invasive method of monitoring rest activity cycles that involves wearing a small device on the wrist that records movement. The device records the participant's movements over time, and from this data, sleep and wake patterns can be inferred. Before circadian rhythms measurements, participants wore actigraphic devices for 5-6 days to assess their sleep-wake cycles during 37 hours constant routine. Sleep was not allowed. Instead, participants were given hourly isocaloric snacks after the constant routine. Participants were allowed to sleep for a recovery night, and sleep quality was assessed during polysomnography, which is a method of monitoring brainwaves, eye movement, and muscle activity during sleep. Participants were allowed to sleep for a recovery night after 37 constant routine. The duration of recovery sleep was not mentioned, so it's unclear, how much is left.
I didn't understand any of it.
Wait, what? Well,
um,
well, okay.
what was the
Basically,
question?
like, how do they assess the sleep? Like, how do they assess the sleep? Basically, what would be another word for assess? How do they
Yeah, I get
analyze
it.
it? Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
they had
it's
like
right.
a like
Assess and analyze is fine.
yeah, yeah. So they had like a device called an actigraphy, and they put it on their wrist, and that sort of monitors their sleep and wake up patterns. And before their circadian rhythm measurements, the individuals wore the device, the actigraphy, for 5 to 6 days, 5 to 6 days to monitor their sleep. And during the 37 hours, and also during the 37 hours routine, and sleep was not allowed. And instant the participants were given the individuals or whatnot, they were given like isocaloric snacks. After the constant routine, participants were allowed to sleep for recovery time. So in other words, they kept them fucking awake for 37 hours. And once they finished that time, where they were
Oh,
like
we're
studying
talking
them.
we're still talking about that study where
Yeah,
the
yeah,
early meals versus late meals.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm just trying to remember. I'm like I gotta connect it, to connect it to something. So what they they said something about that their sleep quality didn't change between the two uh, the early meals and the late meals group. The sleep quality was the same. And the sleep amount was the same? Was that the result?
What was I gonna say? Um, 1 second. Let me check something really quick
Sure.
on regards to this. Okay, right now we're talking about the second study, not the one that you were reading. You know, it's like a different one that we addressed. Like, you know, when we were talking about the for how long they were exposed and and stuff like that, and and where is it called? Like for how long they were exposed and stuff like that. That was one study, and the second study uh, is like the one that we just spoke about. So I think that you're mixing them up, thinking that all these questions are in regards to one study. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we gotta run through that whole study because otherwise, like, I don't even remember,
like
why
both
I
of
asked
them,
about
or do you mean one?
no, the one with the the
The one that we were just
with
talking
the
about, the 37
the
hours.
one we
Okay,
were just talking about,
okay,
like the whole study and the results, and then I guess let's start with the methods. So
yeah,
can you so they for 4 or 5 days they could sleep as normal, like however they wanted to, and they just got recorded.
yeah, basically. And
And
for 37 hours, they
okay,
were not when they were tested. Like they were not allowed to sleep until they finished the 37 hours of testing.
okay. And what were they looking for, or like what was there, like two groups?
Like yeah, the metrics that were used that you asked me was blood pressure, systolic and diastolic blood pressure, heart rate, plasma lipids or lipids, glucose tolerance, inflammation, and sleep quality. And
Was there
from
just one group, or was there two groups?
uh, aren't recall, to be honest. I think it was
Um,
one group.
I mean, if you want to, we can just save it for the next time, and we just gotta like do the whole thing that you did before on that study, like saying the results and everything.
Yeah.
Plus start with the methods again. So like you just say methods, and then you say everything else that you said the first time yesterday, I
So
guess.
you want me to skip all this information for tomorrow and like just jump into the statistics?
I mean, we don't know what information there is. Like if there is, I
What
mean,
is nicotiniamide riboside will be aside from the studies related? Is DNA made of 4 different types of nucleotides? What is NMN? Why is nicotinamide called like that?
wait, I missed it. I missed it. Say that again.
What is nicotinamide riboside? Is DNA made out of 4 different types of nucleotides? What is NMN? Why is
Oh, you're
nicotinamide
just
called
reading off the
like
questions.
that? Yeah. What
I
is
thought you were reading the
what is
answers.
cardiomyocyte clock? Uh,
Okay, yeah,
do you want me to
that's
read those?
yeah.
What is nicotinamide riboside? Um, Nicotinamide riboside, or known as like NR, is a form of vitamin B3, which is water soluble vitamin. Is a form of vitamin B3, which is a water soluble vitamin that plays a crucial role in energy metabolism in the body. NR is a
Wait, what?
yeah,
Nicotine, that NR is vitamin B3.
it's a form of vitamin B3, which is water soluble.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they shove a lot of B3 in the fucking energy drinks.
Which is water soluble vitamin that plays a crucial role in energy metabolism in the body. NR It's precursor to nicotiniamide adenine, or NAD+, a coenzyme that is involved in a wide range of cellular processes, including energy production, DNA repair, and gene expression. NR is believed to be an effective NAD precursor because it's rapidly converted into NAD in the body through a series of enzymatic reactions. NAD levels uh, decline as we age, and this decline has been linked to age-related diseases such as neurodegenerative disorders and
Wait,
What?
what was the question?
What is nicotinamide riboside?
Oh, we're still part of that question.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
NAD levels decline as we age, and this decline has been linked to age-related diseases such as neurodegenerative disorders and metabolic dysfunction. Um, is DNA made out of four different nucleotides? Yes. DNA is made up of four different types of nucleotide. Each nucleotide consists of a nitrogenous base, adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. A sugar molecule, deoxyribose, and a phosphate group. The nitrogenous bases are often referred to as the letters of the genetic code, and their sequence determines the genetic information encoded in the DNA molecule. The specific sequence of
So,
four what?
so each letter is a nucleotide.
Yes, basically,
Okay.
A,
Okay.
G, C, T. What is NMN? NMN stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide, which is a molecule that is found
Mononucleotide.
mononucleotide is found in all living cells and is involved in the production of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, which is NAD. NAD is a coenzyme that plays a key role in many cellular processes, including energy metabolism, DNA repair, gene expression. NAD levels tend to decline as we age.
Did you see what's a different like if you type in Google define nucleotide nucleotide, yeah, is that what N stands for in NMN nucleotide?
Yeah,
Yeah, see in Google like define nucleotide.
okay.
See if it's a word with its own definition, but it's not related to,
A compound
particular.
consisting of nucleoside linked to phosphate grouping. Nucleotides form the basic structural unit of nucleic acids such as DNA.
What? Can you read that again?
A compound consisting of nucleoside linked to a phosphate group. Nucleotides form the basic structural unit of a nucleic acids such as DNA.
Good. Mononucleotide. Wait. NR, NMN. Wait, what does NMN stand for?
Nicotinamide mononucleotide.
Nicotinamide. Oh, I meant see like define fuck. Nu, nu, nucle. What does N stand for?
Nicotinamide.
Nicotinamide. Can you see define nicotinamide? That's what I meant. I was trying to like see what's the definition of the first word, nicotinamide.
A form of niacin, vitamin B3 that the body needs in small amounts to function and stay healthy. Nicotinamide is found in plants and animal products, such
Oh,
yeah.
weird. So NMN is something like, in other words, B3 mononucleotide.
Yep. I mean, I read that to
Uh,
you.
Yeah, for the NR, the NR is B3, is a form of B3.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that not only the NR is form of B3, but the first word of NMN
Yeah,
is B3, which
nicotinamide,
means
yes.
yeah. So which basically, in other words, you can say NMN is B3 mononucleotide.
Yeah.
Um, what what is a mononucleotide?
Um, okay. It's a molecule that is found in all living cells and involved in the production of
Mono.
nicotinamide.
That's what you're saying. Mononucleotide is that?
Yes. Nic- like you asked me what is NMN, which it's a molecule that is found in all living cells and is involved in the production of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, which will be NAD plus. And NAD
Well,
plus. Huh?
I asked you what the words mean within NMN. Like, what is nicotinamide and what is mononucleotide.
Oh, I thought that you just asked me what's NMN, my bad. But yeah, then I wrote what's an NAD plus and what's useful for.
I see. What's a like? Do like a define mononucleotide.
Okay. My bad. I thought that you only said like what's NMN. Sorry, bro.
No, I was super interested in the fact that there is nucleotide in the part within the NMN name. So then I wanted to know like what do other parts mean
You
of
want me
that
to
name.
do a more like defined one for like later, for like like you want me
Yeah,
to
that's
write,
fine.
or like you want me to just give you like a simple one?
I mean, simple one would be nice as well. Like define mononucleotide.
A nuclear. Wait. Derived from ribose, nicotinamide riboside, and niacin in humans. Wait. There is no like proper definition like that, like what I'm
Of
looking at.
mononucle
Yeah,
of
yeah,
mononucleotide.
yeah. I will
Okay.
have to do like more research. Okay, I'm gonna write it down.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. What is mononucleotide?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe it's just the naming. They just were like, they named this and the men. They were like, well, it somehow affects
Okay.
nucleotides, so let's just call it
I mean, I have
mononucleotide.
why is named like that. Why is nicotinamide called like that? It's called like that because it's a component of three, not mononucleotide, just nicotinamide. Um, it's composed of three chemical components of nicotinamide base of ribose sugar and monophosphate group. The nicotinamide component of NMN is a form of vitamin 3, also known as niacin, which is an essential nutrient involved in energy metabolism, DNA repair. The ribose sugar is a 5-carbon sugar molecule that is found in DNA and RNA. The monophosphate group is a chemical group that consists of one phosphate atom and 3 oxygen atoms.
Okay.
NMN is a type of nucleotide which is, a building block of nucleic acids such as DNA and RNA. The name nicotinamide mononucleotide reflects the chemical structure of the molecule and its role in the cellular process such as energy metabolism and DNA repair. What is cardiomyocyte clock? The cardiomyocyte clock refers to the circadian rhythm of a biological clock that exists within cardiomyocytes, which or which are the muscle cells of the heart. the cells have their own in intrinsic circadian rhythm, which regulates the expression of genes involved in various cellular processes such as energy metabolism, protein synthesis, and the response to stress. The cardiomyocytes clock is controlled by a set of clock genes that are expressed in a rhythmic manner. These genes form feedback loop that regulates their own expression and affects the expression of genes. Did nicotinamide riboside reduce the signs of cardiac fibrosis before or after damage? Nicotinamide ribose reduced the signs of cardiac fibrosis after cardiac injury. That's the answer. Um, what is mitochondrial carnitine shuttle? The mitochondrial carnitine shuttle is a process that plays an important role in the transport of long-chain fatty acids into the mitochondria. The organelles organelles responsible for generating energy in cells.
Okay.
Uh, okay, gonna so for tyrosine, uh, I corrected the equation, or like the formula. Sorry, and I did the same formula. Like you divide the standard sample. I mean the sample standard deviation by n, and then by the square root of n, and then the result will be this one, 0.401, and then you multiply that by the t critical value. You come up with this value, and after that you add up both numbers, and you come up with x critical value of 0.284, which indicates that basically if a sample out of like those 7 has a value of that, that sample should be rejected.
Well,
Like,
it means that that as long as the mean is below 0.284, that means this L-tyrosine is not unhealthy.
well, but
It's
wouldn't
not bad
it
for
be
you.
also like in the rejection zone? Like that also implies that, like that sample is not, good.
Well, we don't really look at single samples. We're looking at mean of samples. So it's like as long as the mean of samples is below 0.284, that means
Yeah, but this for each
uh,
individual sample, based on what I learned
no,
from
no, no.
Brendan.
This is for no, no. This is for the mean. So as long as our mean, so if our mean was, let's say, 0.285, that would basically mean that L-tyrosine is bad for us, for you, or for me.
No, but
And if
you sure? Brendan, I recall correctly
yeah,
saying that
yeah.
he was talking about for each, for the sample, like for example, if like he has like 50 samples, right? Based on what I learned, what maybe I'm wrong. Uh, like basically, if you have like 50 samples, and the standard deviation of those samples is the same as like the one that you use for the formula to get like the t value or the c score, and this is the same alpha, right? If you get any of those samples, right, or like singular samples, and you compare them to the x critical value, you will be able to tell whether that sample is good or bad, like whether it will be in the rejection or the
No,
non-rejection
no,
zone.
no. That's definitely not true, because that equation, that whole equation is, the x and the z are both basically a function of the mean, of the average. Like nothing in that equation is for a single sample. Like every variable, like standard deviation, the mean, it's things you calculate from
Oh, okay.
many different single samples.
So,
So that whole equation
okay.
only relates to things you calculate from like many samples.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, but yeah, I can.
Yeah,
This is the critical value, basically 0.284, and our formula of the T score is at like T1. I mean, at like T1 will be like negative 0.562. Yeah, thank you for enlightening me, bro.
yeah, sure.
And for the wine, uh, you know, our T value was not so good. 1.980 after being corrected, like not corrected, but like not using like a fake, one fake value or two fake values with an n of 2 to like sort of like demonstrate type 1 and 2 error. Remember when I did that?
Yeah, yeah.
So I corrected it, and here is the result. The t value after all of that being corrected is 1.980, which is in the rejection zone, which implies that it's unhealthy.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty far into the rejection zone.
Yep. And meanwhile, the L-tyrosine, it's in the healthy zone. You see it?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But in this case, we just have